Introduce yourself. Say hello. This is Rabbi Nachman.
What's the name of what it's under on YouTube?
I'll tell you later.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Nachum Melech.
Baruch haba.
I live in
Good
Brooklyn,
morning.
and I've been learning Reb Nachman's Svarim for over 30 years. That doesn't make me an expert, but that gives me something. Anyway, Reb David here asked me to say a few words, so...
In honor of Jody also.
In honor of Jody also.
Jody.
Okay.
Yehudis.
Yehudis Ita.
Ita.
Yehudis Ita. The Reb Nachman's Yitzhak always coincide with the Spizen of Moshe Rabbeinu. Every day we call some of the guests in the Sukkah of our fathers. The first day we call Avram Avinu, our father Avram. The second day Yitzchak. And the third day Yaakov. The fourth day, which is tonight, we call Moshe Rabbeinu our teacher. And it always coincides with Reb Nachman's Yitzhak is always in the Spiza in the day of the guests when Moshe Rabbeinu is present. And I think that it's very significant because although every Jew as a part of Moshe that's revealed to him, but certain tzaddikim who came to the generations add an extra piece of Moshe Rabbeinu. Those were Moshe himself, of course, and then Reb Shimon Bar Yochai who revealed the Zohar, and then the Arizal, the Baal Shem Tov, and the Breslev claims, of course, that Reb Nachman and ultimately Mashiach will be the final part. So it is very relevant that the Yitzhak of the Rebbe's Yitzhak coincide with Moshe Rabbeinu's the day we invite Moshe into the Sukkah. And I say this on Shabbos, so those who were with me have already heard part of what I'm about to say, but I would like to repeat it for those who were not. We said that in those parshas we talk about the leaving of Moshe Rabbeinu leaving this world, and we said that one of the angels said that when Moshe Rabbeinu passed, Moshe Rabbeinu was the Safra Rabba de Yisrael. He was the great scribe of Klal Yisrael. And in Sefer Ba'onaim explains that what does a scribe do? A scribe takes all the letters together to write a Sefer Torah. And if Chas v'Shalom one letter is missing, then the Sefer Torah is possible. Is we can read and we can make we can bless the B'chas Torah on that Sefer Torah. So this is what a scribe does. It's about the tzaddikim who are at the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu himself, their work is they write a Sefer Torah that's composed of every single Jew, because the word Yisrael is the acronyms of Yesh, Shishim, Riba, Oisius, the Torah has 600,000 letters. The Torah as a letter, and every Jew has a connection with that letter in the Torah. And the avodah, the work of Moshe Rabbeinu, the Safra Rabbi was a scribe, was to make sure that Sefer Torah was kosher and that every Jew was written as Sefer Torah. Because if one Jew is missing, then the Sefer Torah is not kosher anymore. So the work of the tzaddikim in the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, Reb Nachman, who spent their life making sure that every Jew was revealed, was revealed and connected to the Torah. This is why Moshe Rabbeinu was called the big soifer. And there's another thing that is very important. I think that in the Sforim, that whatever we see in the Sforim, if it's a Torah if it is just a story that's told in the Torah, or anything that we learn from the tzaddikim, we see the greatness of the tzaddikim, and it's very inspiring. But what's very important is to find that Moshe Rabbeinu that's revealed inside of every single Jew, because the Zohar says that Moshe Rabbeinu is revealed in every Jew in every generation. So there's a Moshe Rabbeinu inside of every single one of us. And if so, what we just talked about, the idea of finding every single soul and writing every single soul in the Torah, is the duty of every single Jew. And as the Rabbi was telling before, in Torah 280, in Lekutai, the Torah called Azamro, I will sing, the Rebbe talks about finding the good that's in every Jew. And he said ultimately, which is what the Rabbi was talking about, that tzaddik is able to take all those, the kudas toivas, all those good points, and create songs. But nonetheless, the fact that if we're able to find the good in every Jew, and to find the good that's within ourselves, we take our place, we take ourselves from a place of not being written into the Sefer Torah to being written into the Sefer Torah that's composed of all those Jewish souls. So this is really the avoided of Moshe, the avoided of every single Jew, and Reb Nosson was the main disciple of Reb Nachman. So this is that Torah is the root and the most important of all the Rebbe's Torah, and one should go and live with this Torah. And also ultimately said that this is what we ask during the holy days, because Feinu B'Sefer HaChaim, write us in the Book of Life. This Book of Life is this living Sefer Torah. There's a Sefer Torah that's written on parchment with ink, but that's also a living Sefer Torah. And in order to be written as Sefer Torah, we need to be connected in order to receive our energy from the letter that's in the Torah, and also to return our energy to make that connection with the Sefer Torah. So Hashem Yisbarach should help in today's Rebbe's Yotzeit, that everybody should be written
Amen.
And signed in the Book of Life.
Amen. Thank you so much. So we're going to learn one more Torah. If everybody has a copy, and everybody get a copy, it's Lekutai Moharan 2, 1.3. Everybody have in the back? I gave these out. Did I give these out? Gave these out? Where'd they go? Everybody get some? Hi, how are you? Everybody got one? Okay, so Rabbi Nachman now is going to explain how to find out who's fake and who's real in your life. Very interesting stuff. So, as we said before, Rabbi Nachman, when he gives a Torah, it's a very long Torah, and you have to go inside the middle sometimes to start the Torah. So, Rabbi Nachman explains that that as Jews we're social people, and there are times when we need to be alone, and there are times when we need to be with people, and that's called shul, that's called synagogue, among other things. So I was with my wife over the holiday, and we were supposed to go eat out, and we looked at each other, and so I said to her, she has a coat on, and I said, where are you going? She says, I don't know. I said, well, shul is in another hour, so what do you want to do? She says, let's go to shul. So we went to shul. So it was nice to be able to go someplace and not be home alone together. And then we go to shul, and the shul was like 200 people there. So now we went from being alone and isolated to now we're part of this 200 people environment. Like, oh, how are you? How you doing? Bang. You just went out from the loneliness and isolation to this socialization. Like, completely change yourself. So now Rabbi Nachman has explained here what that means when you socialize with people. So now, in order to bind oneself with the roots of the Jewish souls, one has to know the source of the souls and the source of their life force. It's very deep stuff. What do you mean? From which each soul receives its vitality. Each person is alive. Where is he getting this life force? Most importantly, one has to know all the renowned figures of the generation, different rabbis. This is because if one cannot know and bind himself to each individual soul, he has to bind himself to all the renowned figures and the leaders of the generation, under whom the souls are grouped. So different rabbis are over different people. I go to this shul, I follow this rabbi, my sons go to the yeshiva, I follow him. The Jews are very social, we're always connected to somebody. Each renowned figure and leader of the generation has a certain amount of individual souls for which he is responsible. When a person binds himself to those leaders, he is bound to all the individual Jewish souls also. Okay, let's keep going. Don't get too scared. However, one has to be able to know and distinguish between renowned figures, because there are many renowned figures who are fakers, who are imposters, who are liars. Their renown derives solely from arrogance. As our sages of blessed memory taught, impudence is kingship without a crown. There are people that buy their way to positions. Rabbi Nachman says,
barter also?
Barter also. Rabbi Nachman says the biggest damages to the Jewish people are the rabbis themselves. They do more damage than non-Jews. They do more damage than Amalek, and more damage than Hamas, and more damage than Hezbollah. It explains that when a rabbi gives over empty Torah, you lose Jews left and right. It says that the rabbis who give over empty Torah are doing the most damage to the Jewish people. Now so Rabbi Nachman was very big on fake leaders. So the way to recognize which of these leaders owe their position to arrogance is through building Jerusalem, which is the concept of the heart. And Rabbi Nachman is going to explain that Jerusalem is not just a city at a certain longitude and latitude that is being fought over by two nations. Jerusalem is in your heart. Yerushalayim corresponds to Yira Shalem. Rabbi,
You want some help? I haven't had
okay.
dinner yet.
Go,
You know,
go, come back.
I have wine. I could be of more help.
So Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, really if you cut it in half, is Yerushalem, fear perfected, a perfect fear, which is dependent on the heart. Everything is dependent on the heart. Fear and love is in the heart. Jerusalem is in the heart. It's not just a physical place. This is as our sages of blessed memory taught. Of those things that are given over to the heart, it says, and you shall fear your Lord. Okay, let's keep going. We're on page 21. Watch this. This is not my words. I'm not to do with it. However, when there are three traits that destroy Jerusalem, your heart, undermining the healthy fear, which is dependent upon your heart. The three traits are craving wealth, craving food, and craving sexual pleasure, unhealthy sexual pleasure. Of course, these are three things that are done in a healthy manner, necessary for life. You need money, you need food, and you need to reproduce, you need to have fun. It's done in the right way, it's very healthy, and that's the Torah says so. The three traits are centered in the heart, and so have the power to undermine the fear of the heart. Also can build the heart. But Nachman is explaining now the mechanics of the heart. The three drives, the three main drives in every person's life. Wealth is rooted in the heart. And now he's going to explain it from a pasuk in the Torah. God's blessing and riches and no sadness is added to it. Money cures depression. When a person has money, it puts him on his feet. There's a pasuk that says, a woman puts the lights in his eyes, and the money puts a man on his feet. Okay? The second one, he says, food is the concept and bread sustains the heart of man. And then you got sexual desire too is in the heart, because the desire stems mainly from passion, produced in the heart by the blood in the heart's ventricle. It's not bad, but it can be bad. But it's necessary for life. He's explaining here the negativity of when we start to self-destruct, what happens to us, and how it hurts us. But if it's done correctly, it's very, very healthy. It's very important. On the next page. Okay, and because these three items, these three drives are centered in a person's heart, they can undermine the healthy fear in a person's heart, which is called Jerusalem. A healthy heart, a person is called Jerusalem when he's healthy, inside. Okay, now watch this. This gets very interesting. Now Rabbi Nachman is going a little bit off on a tangent. You have to stay with it. The night consists of 3 watches. The night is broken up into 3 parts. At each watch, God, the Holy One, blessed he be, sits and roars like a lion. Whatever that means. God roars like a lion from on high. The sign for each watch, the sign for each separate third of the evening is as follows. The first watch, a donkey brays. The second, dogs bark. The third, an infant nurses from its mother. And a woman converses with her husband. This is a Gemara, it's not Kabbalah. Okay, now Rabbi Nachman is going to go in a negative way to explain how these 3 items are in a negative way. Then he's going to go back to the positive, so don't get hurt by what he's saying here. He's not depressed. He's just going to tell you what it means. Night means darkness. It means obstacles. There are 3 watches. That means there are 3 traits. There are 3 main obstacles in a person's life. The unhealthy desire for money, the unhealthy desire for food, the unhealthy desire for sexual pleasure. God forbid we have all these horrible diseases, food diseases, eating disorders. The first watch, a donkey brays. This corresponds to the craving for wealth. Why? Because Yisachar, one of the tribes of Israel, is called a strong-boned donkey, which means he was very, very rich. Yisachar was very, very rich. So richness equals donkey, because a donkey can hold a lot of stuff, and that means he's able to hold a lot, so that means money. Second, the dogs bark. Dogs, this means the craving for food. Dogs always barking. Barking in Hebrew means have, give. If the actual Hebrew translates what a dog says when he barks, he's saying give, feed me. And the dogs are brazen, they're never satisfied. The third, an infant nurses from his mother, and a woman converses with her husband. This is the third level. Rabbi Nachman is bringing it down in a negative way. This corresponds to the craving for sexual pleasure, the unhealthy craving. As the sages of blessed memory taught, they saw her conversing, whatever. That's a pasuk. We're going to the next level. And Rabbi Nachman is going to go off on a little tangent about the SEX stuff. Okay, but don't get upset by it. He's going to turn it on its head. Now he's going to explain what this means. And this is the meaning of an infant nurses from its mother. Because this desire is related to nursing. And Rabbi Nachman is going to explain where a person gets his desire as a baby, as an infant. Watch this. If an infant, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because it's necessary for life. It's just normal. But it also has in it the potential to bring negativity to a person's life. If an infant suckles milk from an immodest woman, this desire becomes stronger within him because the blood decomposes and turns into milk. This woman who is disrespectful to people, she doesn't care about people, she has a baby, the blood that's in her body, she now nurses this child. Her energy that she has, that negative energy, is now going into this child. Therefore, when she is immodest, the milk produced by the composition of her blood is harmful to this infant because she's channeling down this negative energy into this baby, generating passion in his heart, which strengthens the craving for sexuality in this child. Conversely, when he suckles milk from a modest woman, a woman that's respectful, she knows she's cool, this child's heart is in a measured level of passion. He's not overly sexually out of control as he's growing up as a teenager. He's more relaxed. So conversely, when he suckles only as much passion as is necessary for fulfilling the commandments of Hashem, so the woman's nursing the baby has tremendous ramifications for the child's sexuality as he's growing up. Okay? It may be cryptic, it may be weird, but he's just saying it. We're going to keep going. This is as it was stated, as sages of blessed memory said, David really didn't do that sin because David said his heart was hollow within him. The initial letters of Lebi Halal Bekirbi Mahalas Hal spells milk, meaning that when his mother nursed him, she was a very nice woman and she wasn't overly disrespectful, and he did not get this overly sexual, out of control desire as he was growing up. Okay. We have to go to the next page.
He did not.
He didn't.
Yeah.
I know people are thinking very weird stuff now. So let it keep going. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph because, okay. And this is the meaning of what our sages of blessed memory taught. At each watch, God sits and roars like a lion 3 times of the night over the undermining of fear. Every time a person does something negative, he's eating bad, he's ruining his life with the pursuit of money, he's having wrong sexuality, God is saying, what are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? God is like the conscious in a person's mind. He's saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're nuts. You're forgetting who you are. You're forgetting your identity. This is what this screaming is. God is screaming 3 times a night to people. Don't destroy yourself. This is because the 3 traits, which are the 3 watches of the night, undermine the building of Jerusalem, which is the perfection of fear, which depends on the heart. The Jerusalem is in your heart. It's not just a city. He's explaining that Jerusalem is in your heart, and these 3 things destroy the Jerusalem of a person's heart. Okay, now he's going to go to the positive thing. Now, the way to rectify these 3 traits is through unitive knowledge and awareness of God. What does that mean? Da'at. If you look at the Hebrew, it says da'at. It just says das. Okay. It is necessary to draw this unitive knowledge and awareness into your heart. As it says, know it today and ponder in your heart. One has to draw this understanding into his heart and thereby rectify the 3 traits. Very hard for a person who's addicted to pornography. Very hard to get out of it. It's because he's messed up. He's imbalanced. Menachem is explaining this imbalance is in the person's heart. He caused it to happen. How do you get out of it? A person is overeating. A person is undereating, God forbid. Bulimia and overeating. Also, okay, there's mental problems, emotional problems. Rabbi Menachem is explaining that it's in your heart. If you want, you could possibly heal yourself. Let's go to the next page. Page 29 on the top. Now watch this. Menachem gets very interesting. 4. This understanding corresponds to the 3 mentalities and the 3 regions of your brain. Now watch this. The 3 regions of the brain. Cerebellum, cerebrum, medulla. Yes? Huh? Menachem explains the 3 parts of your brain represents to the 3 festivals. Sukkot, Pesach, and Shavuos. Each holiday signifies a renewal of the mind, as a new intellect is drawn to rectify these 3 traits. Watch this. In other words, on each of the 3 holidays, one of these 3 negative, self-destructive traits is rectified in a Jew. We must therefore take great honor to honor these 3 holidays and celebrate them fittingly, because it is through the mitzvot of the holidays that we merit rectifying these 3 self-destructive traits. On Pesach, the craving for wealth is rectified. And why? Because God granted the people favor in the eyes of the Egyptians. They wanted to give them all the silver. The Jews didn't want it. We just want to go out. The Jew says, no, we don't want the money. We just want to get out of here. So they overcame their level for the desire for money. The Jews didn't want this problem of money. They just wanted to be free. We had enough. So in Pesach, supposedly, if you know how to tap into it, rectifies the unhealthy, irrational desire to always want to have money. There's a rational and there's an irrational way. Shavuos is to rectify the craving for unhealthy sex. As it is said, the blood decomposes and turns into milk. On Shavuos, we have milk products. Why do we eat dairy on Shavuos? It's because the blood, which is red, turns into milk. When a woman is eating and she's nursing, everything she eats turns into milk. So that's rectifies the unhealthy desires for sex. On Sukkot, the craving for food is rectified. Why? Because Sukkot is called the festival of the ingathering, when one gathers in all types of food. This is rectifying the craving for food. For there is no similarity between one who has bread in his basket and one who does not. Okay, sorry, it's a little cryptic, but as we see before, when we want to eat in the house, we just sit down at a table, we eat. In Sukkot, we run into the Sukkah, we have to go up and down 3 times. I forgot the salt, you got to go back upstairs. It starts to rain, you got to go out. So God is trying to say, hello, I'm just trying to refine you that you shouldn't be a creature of habit. You shouldn't be just a dog. You put it in the bowl ice and he lops it up. No, you have to understand what's going on. Okay, so now, Rabbi Nachman is going to go back to the beginning of the Torah. And this is the meaning of those called up to meeting, men of name. Men of name, this refers to the 3 traits, as each one has a concept of name applied to it. I don't know what that means. We'll just keep going. Let's get a little deep here. Okay, let's go to the next page. Rabbi Nachman is not that easy, but certain things here. Okay, now he's going to wrap everything up. And by building Jerusalem, which is the rectification of perfect fear in the heart, an angel is created that instills the vessels of prophecy with prophetic inspiration. So it explains here that when a person works on himself, he's creating levels of prophecy to come back to the Jewish people. Okay, so prophecy, where did prophecy originate in this world? It was in the temple between the 2 golden children that were on top of the Torah. The prophecy would come between these 2 children. That was the source of Nevuah.
The cherubs.
Cherubs. Now, the cherubs have a child's face. They receive an inspiration from an angel. Now he's going to explain here. The angel's root is fear, because the letter that spells malach is also related to, for those who fear him lack nothing. Now watch, it's just going to finish it off with one last sentence. Prophetic insight is that drawn so that even the children can attain prophecy, as in your sons and daughters will prophecy. It says in the Gemara, 3 people always have prophecy in this world, even though prophecy died. When God took away idol worship, he took away prophecy, that there should be free choice in the world. Before Mashiach comes, it says, God's going to bring back prophecy, also going to bring back the idol worship, which is self-absorption, selfishness, me, my laptop, my iPod. It's all me, my isolation. So that's also a level of idol worship. You're worshiping the self. So it explains here that 3 people always have prophecy. Old people, crazy people, and children. Old people will say something, but you think, they're crazy. What does he know? A child, a baby. What does a baby know? And a crazy person, he's crazy. What is he talking about? But God was saying, no, these people are channeling down prophecy that you should understand what they're saying. So God is saying here that your children are going to bring this beautiful level of awareness into your home. And they're going to say beautiful things to you. And all your work that you did to help yourself get better is going to help your children, that they'll be healthy and they'll understand things. And they'll help you in your life. Rabbi Nachman of Breslau. Hope it wasn't